Hi everybody, this is Juhi again. I hope all of you are doing well. Again, Jawahar Alvi, Clinical Director for BASIS, Behavior and Special Educational Services International. Um, I would like to bring back PRT again, Pivotal Response Treatment for Children with Autism. So till now, we have talked about what is pivotal response treatment. So pivotal response treatment is a treatment that is done for kids with autism spectrum disorder. It basically focuses on the treatments for children, and it focuses on the core deficits of children with autism. And what we do is that in pivotal response treatment, what is seen is that kids who are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, we start working with them very, very earlier on in life so that we can push them along the natural or the typically developing trajectory that a child should be going through, right? So with that being said, what are the core values or the core things that we are looking for, or the core strengths that we're looking for that we want to enhance in kids? They are motivation to engage in social communication interaction, social initiations, self-regulation, and then the model that we work with is family involvement, treatment in a naturalistic environment, treatment of key pivotal target behaviors, and the implementation of intervention in both home and school settings. So basically what we are doing over here is we are working in a collaborative environment, and the collaborative environment is an environment in which we are working with the special needs people, the ABA people, the home, which is the home environment, which is the parents, as well as the school, which is the school environment. But everybody is working with ABA principles. Everybody is collaborating with each other so that we have the best and the meaningful results. Everything is functional. The previous videos that we talked about, the one that I did before this one, I talked about early intervention, right? So in early intervention, what we talked about was that how is it that we can use the naturalistic environment, and in the naturalistic environment, we can create those motivating operations, and we can create those motivations in which we can encourage a child to initiate those those speech and those motivations in which he can he's able to interact with the other people, and he's able to do those initiations, and everything is child-led, right? So that is how we start with early intervention. Now the next stage was that when the child goes to the preschool setting. So once the child is in the early childhood setting, in the EI setting, the parents are the ones that work with the child the most. The child is engaged usually in the naturalistic setting. The caregivers, they usually follow the lead of the child. The caregivers, they give like clear opportunity to the child to indulge in play, to reach for stuff, to get stuff, and the caregivers immediately provide the preferred item contingent upon the child. And so this is how we are encouraging language and initiation and interaction. But when we go to preschool, in preschool, the dynamic changes a little bit. Now, the difference that is there between early childhood education and preschool setting is that when the child goes to the preschool setting, now the child is leaving the home environment and they are going towards the school setting. And in the school setting, the only thing that we are going to change is that one, we are going to modify the curriculum, the general education curriculum, to suit the needs of the child who's going into the regular school. And secondly, we are going to start and we are going to encourage those initiations that the child is supposed to have with the teachers and with the peers. So now what we are going to do is that whether it is the typically developing peers or the special needs peers that are there in the classroom with the child, we are going to promote those social initiations between the peers and the children. So before, in early childhood education, it was just the home setting, and in the home setting we were trying to build those interactions between the parents and the child, and we were giving them those situations in which we build that environment in which the child is getting his reinforcement from the environment. It's all child-led, and he's ample opportunities given. Now, in the preschool setting, what happens is that we are trying to build the motivations and the situations in which the child is going to get those interactions with the teachers and with the peers. Okay. Now, in this, what happens is that the first thing is going to be that, the emphasis is going to be on identifying materials that are interesting to all the children. So basically we are going to, like, for example, it's Mr. Potato Head, right? And if Mr. Potato Head is something that all the kids in the room, they want to play with, so what they're going to do is that you're going to bring that out. You're going to have other children sit around with the child, and then once you have other children sit around with the child, they're all going to play with it together. So maybe one person is putting the eyes in, the other is putting the ear in. So now you're encouraging that social interaction between the child and the peer, right? Now the next thing is, you're going to determine which item and activity are motivating for all children, which is very critical to teaching interaction. So again, you want to bring out something that is a focus of attention for everybody in the environment. Okay. And then this transition to preschool represents 3 shifts from typically developing children that guides the teaching interactions in the PRT model. First intervention is coordinated to a new setting, preschool, such that children with autism can generalize their skills and language. So basically now you're going to make them generalize the skill that they had at home into the preschool setting. And then what happens is that after that, the preschool teachers and aides, they can create those learning opportunities. So now you're also teaching the preschool teachers and the aides to create those opportunities, as well as now you're building that bridge between the home and the school setting. Now the second shift is going to incorporate motivational procedures, interaction between children with autism and their typically developing peers. What do you do in that? Children, they're going to be engaged in either the classroom or the playground. So either they'll be in the classroom or they'll be in the playground, which is arranged to stimulate interest through use of preferred items. So they can be in the classroom, they can be outside, and now you're encouraging those play between them, right? The teacher follows the children's lead. So the teacher is going to follow the child's lead. Once you follow the child's lead and you allow the children to become interested in the particular stimuli, then what's going to happen is children will reach out or point to the container of those items and they are going to start playing together. Then the teacher will prompt one of the children, either the child with autism or the peer, and provide a clear opportunity to respond that is related to the item. So once the teacher has created that opportunity either in the classroom or outside the classroom, then she is going to prompt the other child or the other peer to now interact with that child, and the teacher prompts one of the children to immediately provide preferred item contingent upon the child's attempt to verbally respond. So now they're building that whole support system within the peer system, right? Thus the teacher shifts his or her role to facilitator. So now first the teacher was doing it and the teacher was providing them the reinforcement, and now the teacher has shifted the attention to the facilitator. Who is the facilitator? The peer is the facilitator now. Does it make sense? So now you have another person who's the facilitator. Although much of general preschool curriculum is mostly play, the third shift during the preschool year is focused on pre-academic tasks. So the third thing is going to be that you're focusing on the pre-academic tasks. And then the motivational procedures can be incorporated into the natural interaction and basically whatever they are doing, either they are naming colors, they are doing numbers, playing with blocks, any item that they are doing it together with the other children. During snack time, children can name colors of M&Ms before eating, but whatever they are doing it together. So this was the preschool time, and they can work on pre-reading skills such as letter identification are also frequently taught in preschool. Many games and toys that come in boxes, they have their names written on the box, so the children can take turns in naming the boxes. Finally, preschool age children also begin learning how to count with one-to-one correspondence. So that is another thing that you can also incorporate those mathematical activities. So this is something that happens in a preschool setting. The early childhood parents and preschool, now you're bringing in the teachers and the students and the peers around the child. So this is how you are building in those motivating operations in the naturalistic environment. So this was my PRT piece for today. And now maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we're going to talk about elementary education. Hope this made sense for you. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and shoot me a message. I'm loving this book, by the way. It's a really good model. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay in touch. Have a wonderful day. Bye.